Since slavery days, black women have always been criticized for their sexuality. When a black woman embraces her sexuality, it is portrayed negatively through the media, unlike a white woman who is embraced for showing off her sexuality. As Hortense Spiller stated, black women are the beach whales of the sexual universe. Black women have had to face sexual stereotypes since slavery and were labeled either a mammy or a Jezebel. There was rarely an in-between. A mammy was portrayed as large and asexual, as to where Jezebel was considered bestial and animal-like. The Jezebel has replaced the mammy as the dominant image of black women in American popular culture. Jezebels were known as promiscuous and sexually hungry. Stated in The Roots of Shifting, during slavery and decades of segregation, the myth of sexual looseness first emerged as a twisted justification for the rapes and sexual assaults of black women by white men. But during the slavery era, it was claimed that the Jezebel desired sexual relations with the white man. Therefore, white men did not have to rape the black woman. In the 20th century, representation of the black woman in the media is constantly critiqued very harsh, no matter how successful they may be. For example, Being Mary Jane is a hit television series on black entertainment television. Mary Jane Paul, the main character, is a successful TV anchor living in Atlanta that seems to have it all except for Mr. Right. In the first episode, within the first 2 minutes, Mary Jane is proceeding to having intercourse with a man we believe to be her boyfriend, only for the audience to find out later on, as well as Mary Jane, that that man is married. Mary Jane continues to have an affair with this man, resulting in her being the side chick. As Mary Jane tries to pull away from the relationship, her lover will continue to come back and mess with her head. Throughout the season, Mary Jane continues to mess with this married man, as well as fill the stereotype of the Jezebel by having a sexual appetite from sleeping with other men as well. Many people criticize Being Mary Jane for being a hoe, a side chick, a home wrecker, and even called the show trashy and a bad representation of black women all over the world. Not only does white mainstream America bash the representation of Mary Jane, but black women as well. I personally see Mary Jane as a regular woman who seems to have it all, but behind closed doors, she's just a regular woman just like you and I. How many of us black women can say we are truly perfect? When it comes to black and white sexuality, white women are always seen as the victims because they have been known to be fragile ever since the slavery era. In Sex and the City, Carrie Bradshaw, one of the main characters and a journalist, begins an affair with a man named Mr. Big. Mr. Big is married as well, and Carrie is also in a serious relationship. Many fans of Sex and the City felt sorry for Carrie only because Carrie and Mr. Big had been involved prior, but he chose to marry someone else other than Carrie. But Carrie knew the risk of becoming involved with this man once again. So why should the audience or I feel sorry for her? In Sex and the City and in Being Mary Jane, both the females become involved with a man that is not only emotionally unavailable, but as well as married. But why is the backlash that Mary Jane is receiving was never geared toward Carrie? People talk about how Mary Jane is a hoe for dating a man that is married, but when people talk about Carrie's situation, they tend to talk about how the man is wrong and that Carrie should have found someone that was better for her. Why is that when Mary Jane tried to leave the affair after not knowing that the man was married and began to mess with an old friend, she was considered trashy, but Carrie knowingly started having an affair with a married man while she was already in a relationship, but her situation was just considered she was stuck between a rock and a hard place. In the end, Carrie and Mr. Big ended up getting married while Mary Jane is still single. Why is it that white women in media are supposed to always have the happy ending in life, married with a husband that always has a good job, while black women are portrayed as bitter, bitchy, and will never be married? Why does the world feel different emotions for these two women with the same situation but have different skin color? If the white woman is being promiscuous with a man, the world blames the man. But when a black woman is promiscuous, the world always and will continue to always put her down.